So today is spring hive check at the homestead. We're gonna break into our box here, see how the bees fared through the winter, maybe do a little housekeeping, maybe even swap them into some cleaner boxes if these other ones are too grungy from moisture and everything else. So yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna share our experience with breaking into our box for the first time this spring. Pull this whole box off for now because there's not a whole lot going on in here but comb. Not liking the looks of what I see right now. There's quite a few dead bees, which is normal for winter. They do lose about 20 or 30% of their population, but we had some issues with moisture. And that's not looking good. Okay, so I don't see a whole lot of activity down here in this brood box. I'm going to go ahead and start breaking these frames out of here and seeing if there's still a queen in here or not. And yeah, hopefully we can salvage this. We put these bees through a lot of stress. We moved them over 1,000 kilometers in the middle of winter this year. Not the ideal, but sometimes you have no choice. This thing out here and see. This is what the brood was on the last time. This is the old feeder box. Not a whole lot going on here. Looks like they've stripped most of their stores. Looks like they were using some of that sugar. I don't see much going on though. This doesn't look healthy at all. Looks like these bees are just trying to survive. And this doesn't look good to me at all. I'm going to go ahead and keep pulling these. I've moved into the upper box. Yeah, there's just honey in here. And they're using that sugar. This box is a pretty good mess though. Alright. Not like crazy about this black. Looks like maybe some mold. Yeah, they are using that sugar. They're trying to anyway. I'm not sure what's going on down in that bottom there. Looks like they might just be gathering. Hey, this box is a mess, so we're going to go ahead and move these frames into a cleaner box. Now, I wish I'd paid attention to which one is which here. What do you think? Should we use these frames or put new frames in here? I don't want to take everything out of here, but these don't look very healthy at all.
Yeah, I think you should just put some new frames in and tap the bees in there.
Well, there's nothing going on in this box, really. I don't see any queen,
No.
Nothing. So my suspicions are that the queen is in the super, if there even is a queen anymore. These guys are just down here trying to salvage and clean up whatever they can. There's really nothing left in here. And this box is really dirty. and unhealthy looking. So oh, watch out, little one. Those are no good anymore. So I'll get this out of the way for a second. To set this back on here. And I'm just going to start moving frames from here into here in the order that they are currently in to try and not disrupt the hive too much. This was our super that we left for the bees. We run a 3-box system. That's why this is deep. A lot of guys run shallow, so it's easy for honey extraction, but we don't extract honey from this box because this is the bees' food for the winter, and generally they brood and there's very little honey in these bottom boxes. So I suspect that this bottom box became too much. The bees look like they've moved up into the secondary super. They've got some honey stores and combs started in here. I'm going to go ahead and give them a new clean environment to get started with, and hopefully we've got a queen in here, or at least that they're starting to create a new queen. I saw no queen in the bottom brood, so I'm hoping that since they're still here, that there may be a queen still kicking around in here somewhere. So I'm just gonna put these, actually let's go this other way here. I don't want to change up what's happening in here because there could be a queen happening in there. And those are the ones I'm just going to move into. So we got 1, 2, 3. I don't want to steal all their comb either. It takes a while for them to make that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and move that in. Well, okay, definitely got some honey making activity going on here. I don't see a queen amongst these bees on this one. Sorry, ladies. Let's see what you got going on here. Ooh, don't fall in there. And we've got some healthy hive making here. I'm having a hard time locating a queen. It's mostly all just workers. Okay, girls, okay, relax. That doesn't necessarily a bad thing. They will actually create a queen if they need to. So I'm going to go ahead and cross our fingers and hope that whatever they're doing in here, I do see some signs of brood going on in there too, and that we haven't lost our hive from stress of the winter and the move. It's a good sign that these bees are still here. Like I said, if they lose a queen, is there something on its back there? I don't. I just see a bunch of little workers. We're just gonna get these guys a nice clean environment, and we'll go ahead and check this again here in a few weeks and see what's going on with it. I'm going to give them some fresh frame. All the dandelion and spring flowers are blooming. There's plenty of food for them to collect. And we will hope that they go ahead and produce themselves a new queen. If there's not one, I'm having a hard time locating a queen in this cluster. It doesn't mean there's not one in there. I'm just amateur. Anyway, let's hope that we can get this going back up again. I'm going to go ahead and just leave this as a single box for right now. We're just going to check and make sure that these ones that we've swapped over here didn't have any mold on them. Quite a few on the other old box there did. No, just looks like some bee excrement. And I want to close these guys up because they're pretty upset with me right now. Yeah, I think we're alright. This will just be excrement. Alright, so they're still busy trying to fill. If they are without a queen right now, they will go ahead and try to create one. Hopefully we can, this healthier hive will allow them to start doing that. And then, yeah, we're going to make some changes to our environment here for these guys coming into this next winter, and hope we don't run into this same problem we do with all this mold and moisture at the bottom of the other box there. I'm going to go ahead and get these guys sealed back up, just in case there's a queen in there. We'll go ahead and throw an excluder on. We will check this thing over in another couple of weeks, monitor activity, and open her up and check and see if any new queens have arrived or not. Alright, good to go. Alright, these guys are pretty upset. I'm going to go ahead and get all this dirty hive out of here. Yeah, and like I said, hopefully these guys are busy getting some brood together. I have heard and seen where they will go ahead and create themselves a new queen in the event of a loss of a queen through death or, you know, anything else. I didn't see a lot of queen brood in there, but I did see some brood, so that's a good sign. We'll cross our fingers and check back in here in a couple of weeks. Okay, so we went ahead and moved the last few healthy frames and healthy bees into a clean box. I've built a new foundation for this box setup. This was going to be our split box, but that's not happening now. So hopefully these girls take on to this new box and are happy with it, and we'll go ahead and start forming a new brood inside here. We're hoping the elevation gets them away from all this humidity and moisture that we have on the ground around here. And yeah, hopefully they get a queen going here pretty soon. There's plenty of food out right now, so they're not going to starve. We've got a water source for them, so yeah, we're just going to monitor things closely here over the next couple of weeks and see what happens. Bit of a solemn day. We did get into the hive. Definitely, my suspicions were correct. There was definitely some unhealthy conditions going on. We did move from a super dry environment to a super wet environment. We suspect that increase in humidity and moisture may have had a role to play with the accumulation of the mold and stuff that we saw when we cracked down into the old brood. Now that brood is a couple of years old. You can see the dark coloration shows a lot of heavy use, so we went ahead and pulled them. I don't like the looks of that mold on there. I definitely don't want any more accumulating, so we went ahead and put them onto some fresh frames, and you can see here this is not a good healthy sign at all. They were trying to keep the sick bees in one place. Because it was winter, they weren't traveling outside of the hive very much, and I imagine between the stress of a 1,000-kilometer move and the extreme change in weather conditions that resulted in this. Now, it's not a complete loss. There are still a healthy number of bees in the box. They appear to be brooding. That's a good sign. I was not able to locate a queen. It doesn't mean she's not in there necessarily. They will create a new queen. So we are going to leave them alone for several weeks now, kind of monitor the box, make sure there's activity coming in and out of there on the warm days. They've got lots and lots of food out here to gather, and yeah, hopefully in a few weeks time a queen hatches, so that they've created a queen, and they can get this hive back up to what it was, because it is definitely down, and we lost most definitely more than 30%, which is a normal number for winter losses. We're down to about 2 frames. We'll share our update here. Hopefully the hive is able to recuperate from this, and we'll go ahead and get all this cleaned up, and maybe next year we'll be able to do a split.